All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Truth and Absolute channel, where we speak truth and nothing but the truth, so help me, good God in heaven almighty. You guys already know why I'm here, yo. It's your boy Martine, the boxing purist, a.k.a. the non-biased, a.k.a. let me break this fight down for you. Let's talk boxing. All right, so y'all know what fight I'm talking about, right? Y'all already know. Roy Jones Jr. against NDO champ. I'm just kidding. I'm not talking about that fight, though. It's entertaining. Anyhow, Ryan Garcia versus Gervonta Tank Davis this weekend, April 22nd. It is on. All right, yo, so let's break down this fight, right? First of all, we could all agree that it's a mega fight. It is a mega fight. We've seen big fights happen here in the last few years, right? Anytime Canelo fights, it's a big fight. You know what I mean? He put on quite a year. I think it was last year or the year before. But this fight is cool because you got two young lions, undefeated lions, that are super popular, that got a huge following, that are stars in the sports. Now, some may say things about both fighters, you know what I'm saying? And I would agree with a lot of it. I agree. Most of Ryan's popularity is probably due to everything he does outside of the ring. I agree on that. That's how he gained most of his following. I agree. Does not take away from the fact that the boy could fight, though. Tank Davis. I'm going to say this. I credit the people that handled Tank because I'm not taking away from Tank. Let's not go there. Let's not go there, but I just got to keep it real. They did a hell of a job selling Tank Davis to those that follow him. I follow the sport of boxing. Okay, my favorite fighter retired years ago. And even then, I would call a fight straight up and down how I thought it was going to go down in a non-biased fashion. Tank Davis, they sold him to y'all because this man beats Rolly Romero, and y'all call this man the GOAT, the face of boxing. I don't take away from his wins, but I keep it realistic as well. And a fighter has to prove himself in order for you to start talking about him where you're mentioning legends now, right? It's only fair. It's only right. Anyhow, these two are meeting up in the ring. The best opponent that each fighter has faced is about to beat each other, and it's not even close. You could say Ryan's toughest fight was Luke Campbell, which was an Olympic gold medalist. That was a solid fight. Tank Davis, I'm going to say his toughest fight was, even though Leo Santa Cruz, a lot of you guys are going to say that Pitbull Cruz was. I disagree with you. I think that Leo Santa Cruz is probably the best opponent that Tank has fought. Santa Cruz is a lot smaller. He campaigns at 122. I don't know, they fought at 30 or 35. However, that is probably the most skillful fighter, in my opinion, that Tank has faced. Now, let's break down the fight itself. This one, you know, I wish I could almost jump into the future and see how the first round goes in order to call this fight. You know what I'm saying? Because it all depends how they're each going to fight. Each fighter has advantages. Each fighter is at a disadvantage at some point, and each fighter has that one-shot knockout power that could end the night at any given second of any given round. I personally do not see this fight going longer than 8 rounds. I just don't see it. I think it's going to be a couple of quiet first rounds, maybe 1, 2, and 3, until they really start letting them hands go. But I could be wrong. They could be excited, and they could go in there and start throwing bombs at each other. You know what I'm saying? What's the fight coming to mind? Hagler-Hearns. You know what I'm saying? Type, but who knows? I see advantages for both fighters. I would say the physical advantage, I'm going to give it to Ryan, just because he is taller, he is longer. I would say he's faster than Tank. Tank is fast as could be too, but I want to say that Ryan has quicker hands than Tank does. Skillful, Tank is the more skillful fighter for sure. He's got the more boxing skills, how he moves in that ring, how he pivots, his footwork. He's definitely the more skillful fighter in this fight. Another thing, Tank has done pay-per-views. To my knowledge, I don't think Ryan has done any pay-per-view fights yet. He's used to the lights, the camera, and the action because of everything he does away from boxing. Not to say Ryan's fights have not been a big event, but he has not experienced a pay-per-view fight yet. You know what I mean? I see that as an advantage for Tank because Tank's been a part of pay-per-views. In my opinion, they should have never been pay-per-view fights, but he's been a part of the events nonetheless. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, it depends how each fighter is going to come in. You know, Tank likes to take his time with fighters. He likes to figure you out. He likes to try to break you down round by round. But it's different in this fight because not only is Tank facing someone that could bang, as Ryan Garcia, but at the same time, he's bigger than Tank, taller-wise. I think naturally Tank is probably more massive than Ryan Garcia, but I'm just saying Ryan's bigger and he could bang and he has quick hands. You know what I'm saying? So although I think it would be smart for Tank to keep the fight close and press Ryan, it's a lot to ask a fighter to do that when you're going up against someone that could hit like Ryan. On Ryan Garcia's side, Ryan cannot get too excited and start jumping in on Tank. He has to keep him at bay. He has to keep him at a distance, and he has to try to keep the fight that way. And he's going to have to make adjustments. You know what I mean? He's going to have to make adjustments inside that ring. Each fighter has to remain disciplined. Each fighter has to go in there with a game plan and execute the game plan. They cannot get too excited. Tank is a pretty patient fighter. I don't see Tank getting too excited inside that ring and start throwing crazy shots. I do see Ryan at some point throwing crazy shots trying to get Tank out of there, which will leave him open. But again, who knows how they're going to come out on fight night? You know what I'm saying? They could both bang. They could both throw mean uppercuts. They could both throw mean hooks. Their jabs, I don't know if any one of them really depends on the jab. I will say this, though. They both get hit a lot, okay? And we're going to jump to Ryan getting dropped by Luke Campbell, and I agree with you. But if you look at the last fights, Tank gets touched a lot inside of that ring. Ryan gets hit a lot too, but when you judge the opponents that they face, Ryan has done really good against southpaws. Tank, he's had a pretty good run against everybody. So it's a really tough fight to call. Is Tank's skills that far up here that it doesn't matter what Ryan Garcia's physical advantages have in this fight? Now, let me put it to you an example. If y'all have ever played basketball before, you guys know that sometimes there's a one-on-one game going on between a guy that has all the skills in the world. He could dribble. His shot is pretty. He could drive it to the lane. He could hit you with a pump fake. He could do all of those things. He does it perfect. Then you got the other guy who's not the best dribbler, not the best shooter. His shot looks crazy. He doesn't use pump fakes, but the guy is just naturally a dog and he overpowers, not physical, not as in bump you out the way, overpowers. I'm just saying mentally, the dog in him overcomes the skillful guy. Ryan is definitely a dog. He's a pretty boy. He's all that, whatever, IG, but the man is a dog. Not to say that Tank isn't, but has he been in there with another dog? That's what I got to say. So I don't see this fight going the distance at all. I don't see the fight going the distance. It could happen, you know, Benavidez Plant. I didn't see it going the distance. I did. I said if it went the distance, Plant would win. Benavidez by knockout, if he would win, turned out to be crazy. Anyhow, not that fight no more. So if I had to give an ultimate prediction on this fight, drum roll in the back, I'm going to say that Ryan's size and speed is going to be enough to beat Tank. I'm not taking away from Tank, y'all. Don't do that. I like both fighters. I'm a bigger fan of the sport than these fighters. That's just how I see it playing out. I see Ryan's speed, the dog in him, the power catching Tank. Reason being, like I said earlier, it's a lot to ask of Tank to press Ryan the whole fight. It would be the right move to make. I don't know if Ryan would be able to fight going backwards like that, even though he backs up and throws those hooks. Someone pressing you the whole night changes a fight for a fighter that's used to hunting. So I'm going to go with, I got Ryan by stoppage, somewhere between obviously the 1st and the 8th round, but I could be wrong. That's just how I see the fight. That's just how I'm looking at the advantages for this fight. So there you have it. Non-biased opinion. Let me know what you guys think. We got 3 or 4 days until the fight happens. Let's talk boxing, y'all. Let's leave the race comments out of it, the popularity, the rehydration clause. Let's leave it out. Throw it out the window. Let's talk their skills and what each fighter brings to the table. Share this video with your homeboys, with your homegirls. Let's all have a big conversation about boxing, y'all. This is Martin Moreno, aka The Boxing Purist. God bless y'all. Enjoy your night. Peace.